Hello and thanks for tuning in. I'm Paula Shields, welcoming you all to another edition of Kalkine TV's Executive Corner Expert Talks. Today we're shining a light on Collective Shift, a stellar team of crypto experts and research analysts working to democratize wealth and freedom through crypto. They provide investors and traders with access to a suite of tools, expert daily insights, opportunity alerts, and a thriving community to be a part of. So to get to know Collective Shift and the overall crypto market a bit better, today we're joined by CEO Ben Simpson. Welcome to the show, Ben. It's great to have you with us.
Thanks, Holly. Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure to have you on. Now, first of all, Ben, a major issue I understand that Collective Shift is tackling is the fact that while there's a sea of new investors in crypto each day, many aren't quite educated enough in the technology or in the market, of course. In fact, I think more than 1 in 3 crypto investors admit that they know little to nothing about cryptocurrency as a whole. So how are Collective Shift's tools, insights, and portfolio strategies working to change this?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I think everyone now, or most people, have heard of crypto, and usually they have a friend or family member that's the local expert. But unfortunately, education is a real problem in the crypto space. And I think that's due to the excessive volatility and gains you can make in crypto. You tend to hear all the really good stories, but potentially don't hear all the bad stories. And when I joined in crypto 4 or 5 years ago, there wasn't a really good place to learn about crypto, and there still isn't. You know, at the moment, the crypto space is dominated by exchanges, which are incentivized to make you buy and sell more because they generate their fees through trading. But really no one's focusing on the education component. So what we're doing is we're really simplifying crypto and providing a membership platform, as well as a bunch of free information where people can learn about crypto, how they can invest, how to set up a portfolio structure, and looking at valuation metrics and real world ways to evaluate assets and eventually help people make better decisions in investing.
And that's great to hear. Obviously, education is really a key component there that a lot of people are missing. But it's great that you have that community aspect as well with your members.
Yeah, it is good. So community is really at the forefront, I guess, of crypto, especially those people that spend a lot of time in crypto. It can be quite a lonely journey. Usually, your spouse or family members aren't willing to talk about crypto too much because they're not quite interested in it. So we have a really thriving Facebook and Discord community, as well as our membership platform where people are talking about crypto, sharing their experiences, their learnings, new assets they're looking at. And yeah, I love the community aspect of it.
That's great to hear. I think that must do wonders as well for the learning aspect. It is sometimes easier to learn as a whole and with peers alongside you as well. Now, I'd love to ask you, Ben, what would you say the most common mistakes that new crypto investors make are?
I think the most common mistake is that people get really excited when the market goes up. So the first time crypto really hit the mainstream was 2018 when Bitcoin hit around $20,000. And recently, even in November, Bitcoin hit $60,000. Most of the retail audience buy at the wrong time and they sell at the wrong time. And they do that because they chase the hype. They hear about Bitcoin going up 20, 30, 40% in a day, or the latest Dogecoin or like meme coins that are going around. So people pile in at the exact wrong time. And what happens is that the sophisticated investors that have been there since the start and been in the market from the beginning tend to sell when the retail buy, and the big investors make the profits, and then the retail are left holding the bag. So what we've seen over the last 3 or 4 months, Bitcoin's gone from 60,000 down to about 38,000. It's had a natural market retracement. It happens all the time in crypto, but the ones that have lost the money are the new retail investors that bought in December and are now sold in March. So I think the number one lesson I would give to anyone getting into crypto is don't chase the hype and learn about what you're investing before you buy it.
I think you're on the money there. There's a lot to be said about that. I certainly am guilty of that myself, getting excited when the market goes up. And, there is certainly an element of chasing that hype, and FOMO as well is a big part. There are some sayings in the crypto community, buy the dip, and it's very much hype based and chasing those dips as well. So it's really good, as you said, to follow as the more experienced retail investors do, and with better strategies. I think very well said there. But in your opinion, how capable is crypto as a whole of changing the world's financial systems and how we perceive money today?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think what we're seeing and what Bitcoin provides the world is a decentralized asset that isn't controlled by governments or banks. So a few different scenarios that are happening at the moment. Firstly, in Canada, where the protesters were, their crypto account, not the crypto accounts, their bank accounts were being shut down. So the government had the power to basically anyone that they didn't agree with could shut down their bank accounts, not allowing anyone to get access to money. And then also what we're seeing in third world countries, where the local dollar, the local currency of the place like Venezuela, the government prints more and more money to try and boost the economy. And what it does, it inflates the local currency, which means it's basically worthless. So people are moving their assets, their cash into Bitcoin because it is a decentralized area that no one can touch. And I think more recently with Russia and the unfortunate things that's going on in the war at the moment, what's happening in Russia and Ukraine is that people are running from the banks. They're scared that the local currency is going down. The ruble in Russia has plummeted, and everyday people that are holding the local currency are basically losing a lot of money. So what's happened is that in Russia specifically, a lot of people are actually buying Bitcoin because they're getting out of the local government-led currency into an asset that the government can't touch and is a lot more safe. And I guess it's a hedge against everything else that's going on. So yeah, it sucks what's going on in the world right now, but Bitcoin is really holding up as an asset that, for me anyway, is separate to the monetary system, and for me, a long-term store of wealth.
I think you're quite right there. Crypto can definitely be a lifeline, in fact, in times like these, and I think that's what we're seeing at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I think the other side from the store of wealth is the transaction currency side of things, and Visa and MasterCard announced today that they're actually increasing their transaction fees. So once again, the merchants and the user will continue to be paying higher amounts of money just by transacting on the credit card. So I think what we're going to see over the next few years is digital currencies such as stable coins, Bitcoin, the Lightning Network, and some other crypto assets starting to become at the forefront of being able to take over these transactions rather than these big corporations like Visa and MasterCard making billions and billions of dollars in transactions. It's going to go to a more decentralized model with very little fees, instant transactions, and all the other great benefits of crypto.
I think you're quite right there with that prediction. It certainly looks like that's the way we're going, especially as these traditional financial systems are not looking too enticing at the moment with those high transaction fees. Crypto is definitely an escape from that at the moment. But what we're also seeing right now is the crypto market taking a bit of a beating recently in the past month or so, in line with global indices, of course. But despite this, there is still a significant sum of digital currency changing hands at the moment. Do you expect that that's sort of the case in times like this, that crypto does in a way persist always throughout crises?
Yeah, I mean, what we're going through at the moment is something that is a lot of uncertainty, and I think in any uncertainty in the world, markets do sell off. So we're seeing the stock market sell off, commodities, basically everything, but oil is selling off at the moment because of Russia. But I think Bitcoin, if you look at the on-chain analytics and who's buying Bitcoin right now and who's selling, the people that are selling are predominantly people that have invested in the last, say, 12 months. What we call in the crypto space hodlers, which are people that have held Bitcoin for a long period of time, have never been more, stable in their movements of transactions. So what that's basically saying is that the people that have held Bitcoin for multiple years are not only are they holding their Bitcoin, but they're actually accumulating more. And we've seen more hedge funds come out recently, raising more money to buy more Bitcoin. We're seeing NASDAQ listed companies add Bitcoin to their balance sheets. I think Bitcoin is holding on its own, and I think it's starting to do what it was set out to do, as being this separate asset class that is away from the monetary system, that you can store your wealth in and not fear of government or central bank basically playing around with that monetary policy. So yeah, although the short term, the price has sold off a little bit like everything else, I think over the long term, Bitcoin will continue to be a really good asset class.
I think you're quite right there, definitely on the money. So is that what you would advise, I'd say, new investors perhaps to do at the moment, is to, instead of maybe shying away from the crypto market, is to use this opportunity to perhaps accumulate more?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you're starting out in crypto, you haven't started before, I definitely recommend just playing around with Bitcoin. I never invest more than you're willing to lose. Again, I see a lot of people tend to get very excited when the markets go up and put too much in, and then it's a pretty sickening feeling when the markets go the other way. So always start out with money that you're willing to lose. But yeah, start to dabble in Bitcoin, start to educate yourself, start to figure out and understand what money is. Like questioning money. When I first learned about what money is and the only reason why that $10 note you have in your wallet is worth that $10 because you and I believe it's worth $10, it starts to send you down a pretty deep rabbit hole of understanding not only money, but also where are hard assets and where are the good things to actually park your capital. So yeah, I think definitely start out with Bitcoin before dabbling in other assets.
I think you're definitely quite right there. There's a lot of research to be done as well, as you just said. There's plenty to know about money itself and where that comes from, and perhaps that'll also inform, what the true value of crypto is going forward for these investors. But I think you're definitely accurate there about Bitcoin being a bit of a safe haven crypto as it is. And I'd love to ask you, Ben, what can we look forward to seeing from Collective Shift in 2022 for the rest of the ongoing year?
So we're really focusing on allowing investors that don't have time to do all the research themselves, a platform where they can get all that information really quickly. So we've recently launched 3 portfolios where you can see exactly what we're buying and what we're selling, not only in a long-term phase, but also shorter term, higher volatility, higher risk assets. And more recently, we've launched an NFT portfolio. So a lot of our members come in because they are very time poor and they want to get into crypto, but don't know where to start. So you can sign up and basically get from 0 to 1 and receive all the education and research and analysis along the way.
That's incredible. I think, you mentioned the time factor. It's such a crucial aspect there. A lot of people simply don't have time to do the research and follow the market, follow the dips, follow the rallies as well. So I think it's, something definitely worthwhile that you're talking about there. Those portfolios sound great. Are they coming anytime soon? Are they around the corner?
They're already out. So you can jump on and you can sign up for a 14-day free trial and you can see, exactly what we're buying, what we're selling at any one point. And we'll be continuing to add those portfolios over time. But that's all ready to go now.
That's terrific. So 3 portfolios out now. We look forward to seeing the ones you've got coming up. I'm sure they'll be just as good as well. Some great additions. But with that said, it's been really great to hear your insights today, Ben. Thanks very much for joining us on Executive Corner Expert Talks.
Thanks, Holly.
Pleasure to have you on. Thanks for your time as well, viewers. If you've just joined us, that was Ben Simpson, the CEO of Collective Shift. They're offering some incredibly useful insights and guidance through the world of crypto, so keep an eye out. And remember to stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine. I'm Molly Shields for Kalkine Media.